And welcome everyone. Today I'm going to be sharing with you some of my favorite online shops. I will be doing a category of like only vintage selling shops, and then I will do some shops that sell new clothing made in the style of like 60s and 70s. Some shops will sell both, which I will mention if they do or try to mention. Every shop will be linked down in the description if you want to check anything out. Before we get started, I just wanted to give a shout out to our sponsor today. It is Dossier. Dossier is an online perfume company which replicates a lot of luxury scents. All of their perfume is like only $29, I believe, or most of it. I got two this time. For the first one, I got Oriental Floral 3, which is a scent inspired by Thierry Mugler's Alien, and that's one of my favorite scents, so I'm really stoked to have this. And then I also got Oriental Floral 2, which is inspired by Lancome's La Vie est Belle. Both of these are a nice floral for the springtime, so I'm really happy that these came in now. I normally don't love floral scents, but these have some nice earthy scents added in as well, so I think that kind of rounds it out nicely for me. Each one also comes with a little travel thing, which I think is super nice. I don't have either of the perfumes that these two are inspired by, but I have actually worked with Dossier in the past, and before they sent me Floral 2, when I first got it I was like, wow, this smells a lot like the Gucci Bloom that I have. And then sure enough, when I went on the website and saw what it was inspired by, it was inspired by the Gucci Bloom. So now I have a total of 4 perfumes from Dossier. I love every single one. It's also really nice to be able to like change up your scent once in a while, and with them being more affordable in price, I think that makes it more accessible for people to do. If you guys are interested in checking out Dossier, or you just want to see if they maybe have something inspired by your favorite luxury scent, I will have a link down in the description, and you can also get 10% off. Follow the link below, let them know that I sent you, and we'll just jump into the video. First, the list of retro inspired shops. So these are the ones that make their own designs and sell those. Some of them also sell vintage, which I will try to mention. First up, we have Mindflowers, which I talk about all the time if you watch my channel. That is my friend's brand, Olivia. I love her so much. She was one of my first friends that I made in Chicago. She has moved to LA since. She does like 60s and 70s inspired accessories that she laser cuts out of acrylic. It started off with earrings, and these are the first pair that I ever got from her, and like one of my favorite pairs of earrings. They're like such a classic and can really just like make a kind of otherwise plain outfit pop a little more, or a little more fun and youthful, I feel like. So these are super cool. I love these. She also does like chokers and like scarf charms, which will like hold your scarf together. She has belts. Anyways, it's super cute. Check her out for sure. Next we have got Sunset People, which Leia is amazing. I love Leia. That's another friend of mine. She's also actually making my wedding dress for me. She sells vintage as well as her own designs, which she makes that are like 60s and 70s inspired, super cute stuff. I have a dress, a tunic, a top, and a pair of pants from her. Yeah, she's got some great vintage on here, as well as designs that she makes herself. Then we've got Cosmic Blues Crochet, and I actually met Kelsey when I was in New York. She came to the Soho when I had an event that I was hosting there, and she gave me 2 tops, and they're absolutely amazing. I've been looking at her site too, and I've been kind of like looking at this one crochet top that's got little flowers on the bottom. I'll probably pop up a picture of it. And then it's got like ties. It's so cute. I love her crochet bandanas that she's also done. She really picks out like the best colors and has really cute designs. Alright, next up we've got Miracle Eye. I've also worked for them. Their pieces can be a little bit more of an investment, but I do really love the marigold pieces. It's super cute. Alright, then we've got Yesterday People. I have a couple dresses from them and a really cute top, actually, that I think I wore in my last video about styling looks for the summer. It's like a little floral one. Really cute, super comfortable. I love their florals that they have, and they have really good color schemes as well. Love them. They also make really cute swimsuits. Alright, then we've got the Love Revolution shop, which Bianca is a total babe, and she does some really sick crocheting. So crochet is like a perfect like retro kind of staple to have. She also sells some vintage as well on her Etsy. Now we've got Shedhead Vintage. She's got some really cute designs. I've talked to her about making me a leather dress, and that's going to be in the works sometime in the future. She can pretty much make you anything you dream up if you have a specific piece that you want. She loves to make custom designs. She's actually done a piece that I think Katy Perry used in her music video recently, which is really cool. Jumpsuit. I believe it was Katy Perry. Alright, so next up we've got the Hippy Shake, which is based in the UK. I'm actually wearing a vest from them now. I also have a pair of jean pants. I have a pair of stretchy flare pants, and then a tie top, which is really cute. And then I also have a dress from them too. So they make their own clothes and they sell vintage. And they have really good prices too for a small, slow fashion, vintage inspired brand, which I can definitely appreciate. Now we've got Flair Street, who I've worked with as well, so you maybe have heard me talk about them. They do flares, as you could maybe guess by their name. They have some really nice velvet flares, which I have 2 pairs of. I have a floral one, and then I have an olive green pair. They also do cotton ones, which I actually got to try on when I was modeling for them, which are super nice for a summer day. They are a very lightweight cotton. I believe organic cotton, if I'm remembering correctly. They're super comfortable, so if you want to be comfortable but still look vintage and cute, I feel like this is a good way to do it. If you're a fan of Biba, by the way, you really need to check them out because they just did a collab with Barbara Hulaniki, the founder of Biba, and they have some really cool clothes that came out from that. Alright, next up we've got Scorpio Rising, which is a really cool shop. They just sent me a jumpsuit actually. I used it in my Biba video as well. I'm super excited to be able to wear that at a show sometime because that'll be a really cool piece on stage, I feel like, with just how vibrant the burnt orange is, and that rich velvet is gorgeous. So if you're looking for some kind of a jumpsuit like that, they have the best ones. Then we've got Mod Shoes, which is the first and I think the only specifically shoe company. No, it's not. I take that back. I totally take that back. This is the first shoe company that I'm mentioning though. And Mod Shoes is a really great small business based in the UK that sells 60s style shoes for men and women. I actually got a pair for Andrew, and then I have a couple pairs for myself. I have some white Mary Janes and black Mary Janes. Use the black ones. These are probably my favorite ones. I love the style of these. How they tie up. Super cute. Perfect little block heel. These are the white ones that I have. They're a little bit more of a slim looking, kind of a squared off toe and then a smaller heel. And they also sell really cute tights. Next up we have got Swedish Hasbun, which is the only other shoe company that I'm going to be mentioning. And Swedish Hasbun has the best platform shoes ever. So these give off more of a late 60s, 70s kind of a vibe if you're going for that. I have some platform sandals that I absolutely love. They got a little heart cut out in them. And then I also have a red pair of boots for the winter time, which are super nice. They're called their 60s boot. I love their shoes. They are super comfortable actually as well. The sandals that I have of theirs are my go-to shoes for the summertime because they match pretty much everything. I also got my mom a pair of clogs for her birthday from them. She loves them as well, and she doesn't even dress like 60s and 70s, so just goes to show that they can be styled in a couple different ways. Next up we've got Sugar High Lovestone, which is a little more of an expensive brand. A lot of these kind of brands, since they are small sustainable businesses, are going to be more expensive. That's just kind of what you get when you go that route, unfortunately. So I can understand that not everybody can shop like this, and for those people there are definitely tips because I started dressing in a vintage style when I was in high school, and my parents didn't give me money. I didn't grow up in a wealthy household or anything. I shared a room pretty much my entire life with my other siblings, sometimes 4 of us to a room at once. So I was definitely not wealthy by any means, but you can definitely make it work. I feel like you just kind of have to get a little creative. I've definitely been there in my life, so just know I'm not like coming from somewhere where everything was just super easily accessible to me. I will add some online shopping tips for people who want to try and save a little money when they're doing some vintage shopping as well at the end. But for now, we'll just continue on with the shops. We've got Sugar High Lovestone here. This was one of the first like 60s and 70s inspired brands that I ever found. Totally fell in love with them. They've got a very chic, classic vibe. You can also look for these kind of brands on Depop or on like any resale kind of shop like that. But I definitely think it's worth it to like save up and invest in these kind of pieces, because brands like this take time and really care about each piece that they make. They make sure that it's like good quality and made really well, so it's something that is going to last, and it's something that's not hurting our environment by making, or hurting another person by like making them work crazy hours or in horrible conditions with like horrible pay, you know. So it's just something that you can feel good about afterwards as well. Alright, now we've got Stone Immaculate, which is pretty much another brand that I found right away getting into the 60s and 70s like world. They're like a bigger kind of 70s inspired brand. I have a pair of their jean shorts, which are super cool. They have like star kind of designs sewn into them, the way that the fabric is laid out. They make those into jeans, I believe, as well. So super cool denim work they have. I also have a pair of their shorts that I got from Depop called the Sexy Sadie shorts, and they have these really beautiful O-rings on the side, and they're made out of this like navy blue suede. Alright, next up we have got Wrangler Australia. Specifically Wrangler Australia, they just have like cooler clothes. I don't know what it is about the United States Wrangler. These are a little more like 70s retro inspired. I'm wearing a pair of my Wrangler Australia jeans, and again, this is another brand that if you've watched my videos, you've probably heard me talk about a couple of times. Alright, next up we've got Groovy Days. One woman shop again, so super cool. Love that. She's got more of like a 70s kind of like hard rock look, like AC/DC, I would say Alice Cooper, Black Sabbath kind of vibe. Lots of studs, halter tops, some really cute jumpsuits and denim. I really love her vibe, super adorable. Now we've got Girl of the Earth. They just recently sent me a top, which is really pretty. It's like a sheer red high neck and then balloon sleeve kind of blouse. It's really pretty. It's made out of vintage fabric, made in Spain as well, and all of their clothes is made out of vintage fabric, so it's nice that they're repurposing in that aspect. And their clothes are just really beautiful as well. They're actually sending me a face mask made out of some really pretty fabric. That will be nice. I'll probably wear it over my actual face mask that I have. It's also cool that their pieces are made out of vintage fabric as well, because there's only so much of the vintage fabric, so you're getting more of an original piece as well, because there won't be like tons and tons of them made. Alright, and then lastly for the like vintage inspired, we've got shop Hellbound, and they have sent me a tank top in the past with like some really cool Alice Cooper eyes on it. She makes really cute like 70s inspired band merch, so she's got some cool halter tops. Now for shops that just sell vintage, we have got my friend Breezy Shop, Breezy Sweets. She sells on Depop and on Etsy, I believe. Breezy has an amazing eye for vintage, and all of her pieces are super beautiful. She picks out some really unique pieces too, so you can guarantee to find something cool from her. Alright, then we've got Lipstick Lily, who has sent me some clothes before. Super cute. I love to see the kinds of things that she finds. She finds some really beautiful, unique dresses. Then we've got Hey Electric Stardust, as they are on Instagram, or just Electric Stardust. What their Etsy shop is. They have sent me a couple pieces in the past that I really love as well. They've got some really cute 60s and 70s pieces. Alright, now we've got Worn Vintage. Ooh, I got one of my favorite skirts from. It's like a vintage purple suede button-up circle skirt. Totally adorable. And then there's Spaced Out Mama, super groovy, super like psychedelic, fun, colorful pieces. Totally love her Instagram page as well. Next up we have Shedhead Vintage, who I worked with when I was hanging out in New York for a bit. I got a really cute mini dress from them, which is like this olive green color, and it's got this super cute beagle collar on it as well. And now we have got Boogie Child, which sells vintage, like really cute pieces by the way, and also some super cool patches, which they sent me like a good handful of their patches, and I put them on a pair of my jeans. My Sugar High Lovestone jeans, actually. You may have seen them before. So they've got some really cute patches, which is a nice way to make like any pair of jeans or any like jean jacket or anything look a little more vintage. And then the last shop that I have to share with you, by the way, there's so many more. I might have missed a few. This was just what I tried to remember. So anyways, this last one we've got is my friend Grace's shop, and it's called Gracie's Vintage Finds on Instagram. She's got some really cute pieces and at a good affordable price as well. Okay, now that we're done going over all of these shops, I wanted to tell you guys some tips for like some online shopping just generically, because it's hard to say like one specifically shop is super good, because a lot of times it's like hit or miss. I feel like with vintage shopping, you might find something super cute at a shop one time and then might not find anything that you like there for a while. But there's like an endless supply pretty much of vintage shops and of like shops that sell 60s and 70s actual vintage clothes. Of course, there's like online marketplaces like Depop and Etsy. I use Etsy personally over Depop. I feel like I find more 60s and 70s stuff on Etsy rather than Depop. And when I first started shopping for like 60s and 70s clothes, like I was saying, I didn't have like a lot of money of my own to spend. I just had like a part-time job working as a hostess at a restaurant. I also had to pay for my gas, my car insurance, and my phone bill, so I didn't have a ton of extra money after all of that. So whenever I would go shopping, I obviously had a budget for myself, and I typically wouldn't want to spend more than like $35 on a piece. And believe it or not, it is possible to find vintage pieces like that. I pretty much just got like one piece at a time, building my wardrobe slowly but surely, you know, like you do, like you have to do with anything really. So I would go on to Etsy once in a while when I had like extra money to spend, and I would search like 60s mini dress or 60s mini skirt or whatever it was that I was looking for. And you can also go into the like filter setting and you can set your price range, and so I would set that right away, so I didn't even see anything that was out of my price range that was like not even in question that I could afford. And then you might have to like search through a couple pages or so, or like more than a couple pages or so before you find anything, or maybe you won't find anything, but it's definitely worth it because I found a couple pieces that way that I really loved. I found like my first pair of vintage shoes that way. So if you don't have a lot of money to spend when it comes to online shopping for vintage clothes, I really suggest you like setting your price range in the search before you go. It just kind of like filters out a lot and saves you a lot of time, in my opinion, and like falling in love with something that you can't afford. There's a website called the Rusty Zipper, and they sell vintage on there as well. I feel like it's pretty good prices as well, so that's fun to check out. eBay also, I have never personally bought anything off eBay, but I've heard that some people really love it. So definitely check that out. You should also know your measurements for sure if you're shopping online, because especially with like vintage clothes, sizing is not always the same. I feel like people know this, but I'm gonna say it as well just in case. And if the seller does not have the measurements listed, you should definitely ask them before buying it, because you just really never know. They might say it fits like a small, but what they think is a small is something different. So have a measuring tape and know your measurements. Pay attention to the fabrics. You should definitely pay attention to the fabrics, because a lot of vintage clothes were made out of some crazy synthetic fabrics like polyester, which can be really hot, especially in the summertime. So if you're looking for like a 70s summer dress and it looks like it's gonna be like the perfect summer dress, you know, it's got like short sleeves, you know, super cute, lovely pattern, whatever. But if it is made out of polyester, I can promise you, you're gonna sweat your balls off. I have a dress that is polyester, and it's a great springtime dress because it does keep you a little bit warmer since it's polyester, but once the summertime rolls around, I cannot wear that thing out because I feel like I am wrapped in plastic wrap, essentially. It can be kind of brutal. So pay attention to the fabrics. Also pay attention to the fabrics because you want to get something that's not going to be a really big pain in the ass to wash unless you don't care, then just search different shops. Like I will go to Etsy and I will do my search, favorite all the things that I love, then I'll go to Depop, do a search, favorite everything that I love, and then I'll kind of like narrow it down and see what's my favorite thing, and then I'll go and I'll look at some of my favorite like vintage shops to see if they have any pieces that I'm absolutely in love with. That's like the fun thing about shopping for vintage, is that you're gonna find different things all over the place. So you definitely have options. If you're trying to save some money, remember to set your price range. Also, looking around is helpful for that because you might find something a little better of a deal somewhere else. If you're also trying to save money, sometimes buying something that's a little bit newer that looks 60s can save you some money as well. Like if you buy something that's 90s, does 60s, that could be helpful. So sometimes maybe use that kind of a search term. I could do a whole video on how to style non-60s and 70s pieces in a 60s and 70s way too, if that's something that you're interested in. That's kind of what helped me for sure a lot when I first started dressing 60s and 70s. So let me know if that would be something that you'd be interested in. I hope that this was helpful for you and that maybe you find a new shop that you really love. So make sure to check them out. I hope that you guys are having a fantastic day, whatever you're doing, and I'll catch you in the next one.